Welcome, this is Hertzfield, aka Cardao, whichever way you want to say it. We are going to start off with welcome to almost level 40. I just want to cover some basic stuff first. I'm going to do this in kind of two parts because I'm going to do the first part and cover Blizz, who is someone I just got when I hit 38. It's one of my companions. He's awesome and cute. He is also the first companion that a mercenary gets that is a tank. He is not your average tank, and we'll get into that in a bit. I'll just do the little layout here of what we're going to be covering. So I want to cover gearing for level 40, and I also want to cover gearing up Blizz. Until you get to this point where you actually have Blizz as a companion, you're almost always going to be using Mako because she does do some damage in CC, and then she also heals. So it's pretty much unstoppable for leveling, even when you're doing even two-person heroics, doing even the 4+ person ones. It is quite possible in your healing spec. So without further ado, let's talk about Blizz. So Blizz is a Jawa who you get by doing a fairly long and intensive quest line on the planet Hoth, and he is not your average tank in that if you look at tanks, other classes like the Sith or the Jedi, they are melee tanks, so they have abilities where they have to actually physically hit something, whereas Blizz is a ranged. He actually uses a gun. So he's very, very similar to the way that we operate. So with that comes some special little tactics and tricks with him. The major issue is almost all the gear that exists right now that have like defense and absorption and shield and all this kind of stuff. It's got strength on it, so it's very difficult sifting through all of the database websites to try and find the gear. So hopefully this will kind of help you guys out. His main stat is aim, just like you. So all of his gear here has aim on it. And I try to find gear that also has like absorption rating or a defense stat, like defensive rating. It's called glancing, and I think it's just shield rating, right? Yeah, shield rating. So those kind of stats that normal tanks would want, you have to pay attention to that. You're not getting strength because it's useless to him. If you look at his actual bonus damage, he does have strength, but it's not that great. Okay. Most of his stuff, since it is a tech ability and aim helps a lot, when you look at his tech tree, his bonus damage, for 597 he gets 119 damage, whereas with strength he's got a bonus damage is 41 strength and 8. So it's about 5 points for strength, and that works out to be about almost 6 or 7 for aim. So it's a little better stat for him just because he doesn't have a melee ability. So let's start talking about the general naming of items. So these are ones that I've found. There's probably more, but I'm having a hard time with sites like Torhead, which actually does have the same way as like Wowhead and everything works, where you can specify stats. I've been having problems with it loading, so I think they're just working on getting their database to search a little faster. I can get aim only, I can get defense only, but I can't combine it. It seems to take forever. So hopefully I'm gonna send a message off to the devs and see if they can fix that. But until then, you can actually use this either on the sites to look for names, or you can actually use it in the Galactic Trade Network, and I'll give you some text. So I'm going to put them up on the screen here. So you've got Super Commando, Enforcer, Colossus, and Hydra. So those are the 4 main ones that I've seen. They're blue or epic gear pieces. Some of them are 50, some of them are level 40. Just kind of look for those keywords, and you should be a little bit further ahead on sifting through the hundreds of different pieces of gear that to choose from, and it'll single out the ones with aim for Blizz here. So the ones that I'm going to put a link in the comments below, or in the description below, that's going to show you the link that have aim on it, that is higher than 1, so you can actually filter through it yourself. A apart from that, just find what you can afford. Look for either an absorption or a defense kind of a stat on the items. They'll help him a lot. It'll help him dodge incoming or absorb more damage. It'll require you to heal him less, and you can spend more time doing AoE damage or single target damage as needed to clear it faster. The more you're having to heal Blizz, the less you are doing, and it'll just get frustrating, because if you're trying to pull 8 guys, which is totally doable with Blizz, it just gets maddening because you can't kill them any faster if you're having to heal him than it would be just to take on the smaller groups. So you want to build him up to the point where he can take a lot of people, a lot of hits, but not take the damage of those hits, allowing you to not have to heal him. His threat is awesome. I love having a tank. I've been waiting for it, and when I found out that Blizz is a tank, I got him as soon as I could. Some people have said they can get him around 36, 37. I tried to do the second to last part of the quest chain, and I couldn't. I was dying. So even with Mako healing and me and my heal spec, it was really, really hard. I could get him down to about 10% health and I would die. So I waited till I was 38, got Blizz no problem, cleared it smooth sailing, and so here he is. To simplify the kind of gear that's harder to find, like helmets and implants and earpieces, a little trick that you can do is you get gear a lot more easily than he does, because you have gear that has things that you need, like alacrity, sometimes power. Some of this gear, like my guns and stuff, they have more of a healing oriented approach to them, whereas his not so much. You don't really want to give him all that. You want that stuff for yourself. So what happens is, as you upgrade a piece of gear, since we use heavy armor and he uses heavy armor, you can kind of do the hand-me-down method, where if you have a blank spot, like when next time I upgrade one of my implants, I'm going to take one of those out and give it to him. It might not have the most ideal stats for Blizz, but at least it's something, and it's, more stats is better than no stats, right? The next step, I'm going to cover gearing for healers when you hit level 40, so stay tuned for that next one. The next video should be up here. Shouldn't take me more than an hour to get it up there to level. Meanwhile, I will be encoding this video, and hopefully the next video in the series will be out tonight. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned, subscribe, tell your friends who are interested in doing mercenary healing to check out the channel. We'll talk